Insane bottle job at the lane, as what others would call the 3-point lane. Chelsea done the Italian job on Tottenham Hotspur at their own gaff. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. How do you go from 2-0 up to losing 4-3 in the end? That's mad. But credit to Chelsea, man. Second half mentality, inexperience all over the field. It showed, but you know, this is what happens when you sacrifice your centre backs to the gods for a 2-0 lead rather than trusting the ones that are really fit. Now, let's see how long they're out for. Van der Ven, another tweak in the hammy. You know, you could even say, Romero twisted his ankle. Brennan Johnson, don't know. But Chelsea, in the end, were phenomenal. But the defending from both sides were very, very sus, I must say. And we'll get straight down into it. Make sure you like and subscribe, people, as well. We're going to talk a little bit about, obviously, Enzo, Sancho, Kulusevski, probably a lot of different things. But yeah, do smash the likes. We're going to get straight into it. This is where we break down the game in what I've seen, and then hopefully you lot can get involved and add your own comments. Add what you feel should have been maybe a talking point. Or who did you find man of the match? Who was you impressed with? Because I was impressed by quite a few players. But let's get into it as well. And you know what? I'll try to do a criticism, and there's one of them straight away. Anywho, straight into it. This is what we learned. Chelsea, this is probably I've got one criticism for Chelsea today, two maybe as it goes. And then I would say a suggestion, and I wonder if you lot would agree. But let's get straight into the first half of things. Chelsea definitely need a new goalkeeper. Sanchez can get his flowers and everything, but giving away the ball the way he did, and I know Cucurella is the one that slipped twice, bearing in mind, but Sanchez, it's just when it goes back to the keeper, sometimes he just looks like he's uncomfortable. As good as his distribution can be, I feel like he should be a lot more commanding in the box, and he should be shouting at his players. And I don't feel like that's the case. And I know this is not really what we've learned in general, because we already knew this. But I would even say that Chelsea needs some new centre back cover. I think Badiashile done a decent job in the right centre back role, but not really comfortable. Kind of clear to see. Maybe that's the left-footed curse being put on the right-hand side. But that's just my first criticism. And the second criticism, of course, is the defense. You could say it came from individual errors, but the shape at the back, we were talking about Levi Colwill looking like he's becoming a little bit of a commander for that Chelsea team, but needed to see a little bit more of that today. And I think the lack of experience was showing in that sort of instance. But we'll keep talking about that. Kitman might need to get the sack. I'm just joking, by the way. But as I mentioned, Cucurella switching his boots, like it's the Kitman's responsibility to make sure the players are wearing a correct footwear as they go on the pitch. And we're talking about what one result can make a big difference in the future of the title, or even players getting injured. So Kitman needs to definitely do better there. There's another criticism. There you go. Romero and Van der Ven were sacrificed to the gods. And now we've already established that at the start of the video, but was it worth it? Question mark. Was it really worth the 2-0 lead? Was it really worth rushing them back for this particular game? It looked all that handy and dandy at the start, but then as soon as Romero came off, it all came falling down. Big up Kanye West, man. But yeah, for me, it's not looking good for Tottenham right now. It's not looking good for Postecoglou, and yeah, we'll see what goes from there. And we're going to get straight into it. I feel like the second half, we can really go gung-ho about all of this kind of stuff as well. The lack of experience is showing as well for me, stuff like slowing the game down to Chelsea. Like Chelsea, for me, were a little bit rush. And so were Spurs to a degree as well. I thought like Spurs should have done that a lot more. And then it became encamped into their own half, eventually into their own box even. And Chelsea, this is where age does matter. And I'm not saying Chelsea's got an extremely young team, but this is where you look at leaders and you look at experience to say, slow it down a little bit. We're in control here. You don't all need to flood up because we don't want to get hit on the break. Where Solanke could have scored again. He nearly got 2 goals even. And just a little bit of that will come within time, of course. And you might even acquire someone like that. But in these sort of moments, it is a derby at the end of the day. And if you're just a mutual, right, you definitely enjoyed that game. Absolute phenomenal game, by the way. Just 4-3, 7 goals. What a way to end the night on a Sunday. Now, that's proper Sunday night football. For me, anyways, let's get into the better positives of the game. Anyways, Sancho, best performance in a Chelsea shirt overall. Got his goal. I'm not too sure if he got the assist, but regardless, I don't really care about that. I wasn't really watching for if he got goals or assists. His overall game was tremendous. I thought Porro had a sticky time against him. Got onto the end of one tackle potentially on that, but Sancho was an absolute ruthless man. And I can't believe that Manchester United decided they wanted to get Amorim and decide to sell Sancho for 25 million. And I was being told that he can't handle it in the Prem. Are you stupid? No wonder why Dan Ashworth got sacked. It's stupid decisions like that. Stupid. And he goes and puts a performance like that against Spurs. And I'm not saying Spurs are anything great at the moment or they're anything to really put on the pedal, but it's not his only performance. And we sold him for 25 million. And there's just an aura about Sancho when he gets the ball. He looks happy. And it's not in my shirt, my club shirt. It's in a Chelsea shirt. And he's nailed down that spot too. Who's getting a spot over him? He's happy, man. Every time he got the ball, I felt like Chelsea were doing something. Him and Enzo's link up was insane. Cucurella could have done a little bit better, in my opinion, but he had to be a little bit more suspect of where he has to be on the pitch. But you found Cucurella in attacking mid spot sometimes. Guess who found him? Sancho or Enzo at that matter. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it enrages me just the thought of it. And it's just like, you're doing well for another club and we give you for 25 million. Do you know what 25 million gets you these days? Good luck. Good luck. Enzo, he's definitely turned a corner. Now that guy, for me, either him or Sancho's man of the match. I keep twisting and turning my mind, but he got the winning goal in the end. So that's a man of the match part for me. And you know what? Technically, it wasn't the winning goal because it was Cole Palmer. But we're talking about the one that set the tone at the end that made it 3-2. It was Enzo. Obviously, Cole Palmer done that Pendenka chip. That was naughty. And I thought Fraser kept them in the game for a long, long while. He's clearly better than Vicario. But on that notice, I feel like Enzo has definitely turned the corner for the better. He looks phenomenal. If you lot saw my a couple previous videos ago, I was mentioning about Enzo Fernandez. For me, I have to hold my hands up. He's looking really good. Now he looks like the Enzo Fernandez I saw in the World Cup. Now he's looking like the Enzo Fernandez that was doing a little bit at Benfica, especially if you watched him in Champions League nights. He's doing everything. Is it just me or does he just look a lot more fit? Maybe it was I think he had a hernia injury or something. Maybe that was the case. Maybe it was tactics, but he's getting used correctly. And there's nothing that anyone can tell me, not CB, not no one, that can say that it was just an okay performance. He ran the show tonight. Leg work, getting back, defending, attacking, goal scoring. That's another goal to his name, by the way. And I think it's 9 or 10 GA in his last 7 or 8 games. The guy keeps keeping it up. I'm glad. I'm really happy for Chelsea. And the reason being is because you're not my direct rival. So I can speak on you a little bit more light and gracefully. I need you in this title race with Liverpool. How can we nearly go on a weekend where Liverpool didn't even play and nobody nearly got the points that were needed, like Arsenal, Man City, and now Chelsea? Chelsea are comfortably in that second spot. And there was a period where we was talking about how is Chelsea going to handle it. They got the squad. And Enzo is brilliant. And what he's doing, Maresa's got him absolutely changed up. And it was like even Lavia came off and you saw Caicedo go in the role. That's the tactical flexibility and obviously personnel that they got within this team. Can't say I'm not jealous, but shows, doesn't it? It really does show. Chelsea's come a long way, especially for the first couple years. And I think in 2024, have they registered 3 losses? Another stat. I think I got told earlier. I saw this the other day as well. I saw as a picture come up on Twitter, and I was thinking you know what? They're second or third for most registered wins and points totaled up. And I know there's a few draws along the way, but yeah, for me, mentality won Chelsea this game. In the end, the mentality got them through, and not just the quality, but when you look at Chelsea as a group, there was a group that looked confused, combobulated. I just use that word. You know what? I know what it means, but I don't even know if it makes sense. I just thought I'd throw it in there. Act smart. But yeah, or is it discombobulated? Let me know. But yeah, they look confused. They didn't look like they knew what they were doing on the pitch. The patterns were lackluster, you could say as well. And the patterns of play on top of that were just not working, under Poch until we got to the back end of the season of last year. Potter, you could say Lampard when he filled in, when he did. It's just right now, like this looks like a group, and there's one goal. If and the thing with Chelsea, it's like you can score 2 goals against us, but we're going to score 4. Do you know what I mean? Like even when it came to games beforehand, whether it was Wolves, even they got through the games. We give praise for Arsenal. Getting through the games against Manchester United. A different way of winning. Well, with Chelsea as well, they've done the same against Bournemouth, but they didn't get the credit. They the only team that's a big team that's gone to Bournemouth and actually registered or got away with it in the end. And do you know what? Fair play. I think they beat Bournemouth. They didn't. Did they draw? I don't know. I know Bournemouth could have won that game, but regardless, I think Chelsea are doing really well, and you can see that there's a different energy about them. But I would suggest one thing, and we spoke about this in the last Chelsea video as well. Is I feel like Nkunku should be getting a lot more chances. I didn't think Jackson was anything decent today, and I don't think Jackson's been anything amazing considering how good he has been, if does that make sense? And I feel like Nkunku could have been utilized and Jackson could have been arrested a lot earlier. And you know what? It's not to say that he's poor, he's not good. Of course, he's a really good striker. His GA speaks for itself, his performances do too. But I do wonder if Nkunku in and around the box would have been a little bit of a better option around Jagusin and whatnot. And I feel like Jackson wants to get involved in the play a lot. And I think Nkunku's really clinical. And if it did get to the part where it is 2-2, I thought, he could have come on a lot sooner. And I just feel like he could be utilized a lot more. And it'll be interesting to see how Nkunku performs with a team like that's out today with Neto, Sancho, even Lavia, Caicedo. Just name the whole squad if you wish. But yeah, I do feel like that's one suggestion potentially as well. Make sure people keep hungry and know that your spot's never safe. I'm pretty sure Maresca will address that. Look at Madueke as well. Didn't get. I don't know if he come on in the end. I'm pretty sure it was you know what? I was just too entangled on Sancho and Enzo, but. Madueke, he's been getting criticized lately, but he got rested as well. So yeah, and in the end, I think what we've all learned is that Spurs will always be Spurs. And as much as I do get onto them, probably more than most teams, this is normal. Like Chelsea, that's Chelsea's second home now, and you're gonna have to deal with that. And I'm coming in to rent a room very soon in a Carabao Cup just to show you lot that you're not safe around here. There's levels regardless. But yeah, good win for Chelsea in the end. Good 3 points. It was definitely fought for, definitely earned. Got your money's worth as a viewer. But on to the next. I don't know who Chelsea have next, but I'm pretty sure it's someone in the what's it called? The dodgy Europa League conference game. But in the in the Premier League, I have no idea. But other than that, smash a like, subscribe if you're new. And it'll be nice to get a few comments. I'll reply to a few of them as well. Let me know who stood out for yourself. It'll be interesting to see because there might be players that you thought, oh, what, he deserves a bit of praise. Maybe we should give him some flowers. But anyways, in a bit, hopefully you enjoyed it. And on to the next one.